Arizona Western College since 1970. Thank you for listening. What's Up Yuma is next. It's 10 o'clock.
It's been said that community radio is a rare medium that's well done. It's a cute play on words, but it's also quite true. Community radio is unique, both for our programming and for our source of funding. We are funded by you, those who listen faithfully. So please give now at borderradioaz.org. And thanks.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Veronica Shore.
And on today's program, we are joined first by the men's baseball coach, Jon Wente. We're going to talk to him about baseball, and I think the season just started, so he's just easing into it. So we're going to ease him into the conversation today, as well as
Amber Thornton from Culligan Water and Relay for Life, they just got a big award.
Did they?
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
We're going to ask her about it, so stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget that you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Veronica Shore.
And on today's program, as promised, we have the head coach of baseball right here at AWC. Yes, your Matadors. I'm talking about Jon Wente. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. Just want to say it's a great day to be a Matador. The men's and women's basketball had 2 big wins on the road last night. So
they did?
Congratulations.
Yes, exciting times.
Oh, okay. You know who they played at all?
Yes, Central Arizona.
Central Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay. They're pretty much like tough teams, or?
For sure. I think any road game in our league is a tough game, and both teams came off tough losses at home against Eastern on Saturday, so to bounce back and get a couple W's last night, pretty exciting.
No, before we get into the baseball, the fact that you mentioned that, I forget who I was talking to, one of the other coaches, but they were talking about the camaraderie amongst all the teams in the sports. Like what you just said, everybody kind of like cheers each other on. I think it was a game he was talking about, and that somebody showed up at a game and cheered him on. Maybe it was a basketball game. Was it a basketball game here? Yeah, it was a basketball. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we try to make our guys or encourage them to go, and sometimes the basketball team helps us by feeding us a little bit after the game, and we want to support. I think student athletes have a tough job in life. They've got to go to class all day, and then they have to go to practice for many hours, and they got to go to the weight room, and then they got to take care of their studies. So I think our student athletes have kind of a similar routine, and so you want to support as much as you can. And I think we've got a great group of coaches that like each other, like being around each other.
That's always nice to like each other, right?
For sure, for sure. I think it's tough enough in your own world, and you're worried about your own sport, but you realize everybody's trying to do the best for their program and their young student athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And here at AWC, it's a little isolated compared to other community colleges across the state, or even the country. So them being here, they're together. This is where they do everything, so they truly become family.
Absolutely, I agree. I think that's a benefit of being out in Yuma, is we can kind of be in our little own environment and kind of get to do our own thing, and you want to just support everybody's efforts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but we like to get to know everybody that we have on the show. So we're talking a little off air. You're an Arizonan.
I sure am. Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona.
Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. So when you were young, was a baseball a thing for you, or sports in general?
For sure. I grew up, I lived with my grandparents for most of my young time, and my grandpa played professional baseball, and so I think he just kind of introduced me to it. But I actually say my grandma is the one that gave me the love of the game, because my grandpa would be out working, and my grandma would take me in the backyard, and we'd play wiffle ball together, and I think that's where I learned the passion for baseball and the love of the game. And then it just kind of grew as a player. You play, and you have teammates that are like, ooh, I think you could become a coach, and you're like, I want to play, and then all of our times as a player get taken away at some point in different times, and I just love the game. I love, the interaction with student athletes, and just thought coaching was a great opportunity for myself.
So I want to go back to Grandma and Grandpa. So you said Grandpa played professional. So what is it? What does that mean to play? Because I don't. To be honest, I don't know much about baseball. I just think MLB, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, there's other professional leagues and stuff. So what was the stint of his career?
Yeah, there's a minor leagues for all the major league teams. And my grandpa played minor league baseball in the New York Yankees organization.
Wow.
Never made it to the big leagues, but they grew up back in New York, and then they moved to Arizona. And
so is he from New York?
Yes.
Oh, he's from New York.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then he had the dreams to go pro as a.
Yeah, I don't know. He was he had a lot of jobs. I think, as all of our grandparents, they had to try to make ends meet and survive and take care of their family. And so he was a fireman. He worked IRS, but he also played baseball before that.
Oh, wow.
And so just I think he gave you the how to do things the right way and treat people the right way, and you try to learn from those lessons.
Any cool stories about when he was with the Yankees organization?
Nah, I don't have any. All I know is he was a Purple Heart veteran, so but he didn't talk about it a ton. He just, I think my grandma may have told me that he was a professional baseball player for a short period of time.
Oh, gotcha. So it definitely was Grandma taking you back with the wiffle ball bat and
no doubt
hitting and swinging it.
No
and
doubt.
so you're doing that. You're young, and did you kind of have a knack for it?
Yeah, I thought I was a good player. I mean, we all think we're better players than we really are, but.
So then, like junior high, was there like something in the schools?
Yeah. I played high school baseball. I played club baseball. Did all the things that our young student athletes are doing now, and then got a chance to play in college. And my dream was to be a Arizona State Sun Devil, but out of high school, I was not good enough, and so I went to a junior college. I went to Central Arizona College, played 2 years there.
What about high school?
I went to Brophy College Prep.
Oh,
in
okay.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I have a friend that went there.
Yeah. It's
a
great place. I mean, I think the person I am today is because of Brophy and the relationships I had with, my professors.
Isn't it a different school? Like, what would you say was it?
Yeah, it's a Jesuit school. So it's got a religious background and all that.
Tom.
Oh, Tom went to that.
That's where Tom went. Yeah. So both Veronica and I know Tom. So, so high school. What was the sports team like then?
Yeah, we were good. We had a great coach, a Hall of Fame coach, Tom Succo, who actually now retired, and he coaches. He's an assistant coach at Yavapai Community.
So you said
College.
Hall of Fame. So what was his?
High school, Arizona High School Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was a father figure for me. He was also my counselor. I obviously growing up with my parents, my mom was very young and had to work, so that's why I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. My father unfortunately passed away before I ever got to know him, and so really Coach Succo was really the first father influence I had in my life. And so, it's memorable times. He taught me a lot, more than probably he taught me about baseball. He just taught me about life.
And you're emphasizing about that right now. So I'm picking up on that. So what are some of the things that he taught you, right? Because obviously, and we talked, I think it was the coach the other day, holistic. There was like a whole holistic approach. Was it something like that? But it's like, okay, son, you could swing a bat, you could throw a ball, whatever, catch, but you got to also like work on some life skills, or?
Yeah, no, I'm not smart enough to know what holistic means. I mean, I can probably guess.
Whole, just go whole.
Yeah. So I think it's just the parallels between the sport that you love and the sport that you have a passion for, but the parallels with life. I mean, they say baseball's a game of failure. Obviously, in life, we're going to go through some failure, and how to come on the positive end of those things. I think that's what he taught. He taught hard work. If you have passion for something, you continue to work at it, even when things aren't going the way you expect or hope that they go. And so I think those are the things that you take take from those times?
You know, I'm going to bring you up another former coach that I had on. He was a wrestling coach, and he talked about they did really good here, and I forget what school it was. I don't know if it was Cibola. It was a high school, but when everyone went on to the bigger leagues, they didn't do well because they didn't learn, or they were never taught how to lose. They were never taught how to lose correctly and have an attitude to go back out there. They did so well here, but then losing there, everybody crumbled.
Their morale probably
Their morale
fell.
just went down. Anything on that?
Well, for sure. I mean, like, I think baseball, you know, you get in the Hall of Fame, you know, if you hit 300, so you're failing, you know, 7 out of 10 times. So there's just so much failure in our game that you think you just have to learn. You know, we tell our guys all the time, you know, you're judged by how you react to when things go bad. And so I think baseball is the life lesson. You know, that's why I love the game. I think it's the best sport out there because there's so much you can learn through the game of just reacting and keep pushing forward. And when things go bad, you know, you get off the mat and you get back up there and you do the best you can.
Mm-hmm. It's like, so when somebody strikes out, right, they could get upset, they could be down. Like, what are some of the things you do to help encourage it and keep that morale up?
Well, we have it's a saying in baseball is to flush it. You know, like it's a toilet and you're just flushing it and moving on.
Just move on.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You know, and you try to teach them ways to deal with it, right? I mean, bigger the situation, sometimes it's hard to overcome those, but you're trying to give them things that they can use, like a flush it, maybe say something to yourself positively about, hey, I've done it before, I'll get back up there. We talk about clapping a couple times, it's just symbol just to move forward.
Okay, so like get physical, like kind of do this to like that's a signal of like, okay, I flushed it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gone. All
But
right.
honestly, like, this is exactly what holistic means, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah, for
coaching
sure.
them past
Now you
their-
know.
Yeah,
past
I
the
know.
game only.
I try to play a little bit like I'm not very smart.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Okay.
He's actually very smart.
Yeah, I know. It's like actually
not
the
kidding.
square root of, you know, and it's like, damn it, don't try to upshow the host. No, so okay. So then, did you want to be a professional? Did you want to go to the MLB?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think every player that plays the game wants to be a big leaguer, and you dream about being a big
Is that
leaguer.
true? Is that
I think
like
so? I mean,
so pretty
you
much?
ask
Okay.
our players. I mean, they're going to tell you they want to play in the big leagues. I think that's why they play the sport. And then at some point, you know, you realize, hey, they could be bigger, stronger, have better velocity on the mound, hit the ball further. But I had a chance, you know, to play professional baseball. Played it for a year and just realized, man, I thought I was pretty good, but I'm a long way from being a major leaguer. And
So let's talk. I want to talk about that a little bit before we go to break. So what does that mean? So you do good in your college, your university, whatever, and then you get to the pros. What is it? It's just a level of competition that's there that kind of like, wait a minute, the reality check?
For sure. I mean, because now you're playing against 30-year-olds. You know, I was 22 years old, and I'm competing against 30-year-olds that are dreaming about continuing to play every day and get a chance. You're getting paid to play, so there's a part of it where it's like, hey, well, we have a budget for our salary. How are we going to navigate that? And you just realize it's a business too at that level. And just like I said, I loved it, but I knew it was time to try something different.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying getting paid to play. So the budget comes up with like, okay, you're not as good, so we're gonna have to get somebody that fits our budget. Like, bring that up.
I was lucky because I was a rookie, so my salary was very minimal. So
Yeah.
they
Okay. So they
care
didn't.
that
You were
much.
when you're on the
Yeah.
top of that thing, and you're kind of like
Yeah,
Yeah, but
the
when you're
line
spending,
item.
like millions
Yeah,
and
yeah,
on
yeah.
an
Like,
yeah.
oh, we need to save
They
some
didn't
money
care
here.
about me that much. I was making nothing.
But that's the thing about rookies, though. They kind of get some grace as well, right? It's like
For sure.
you look at it, you're going to develop. So you only did a year as a rookie in the professional world,
Yep, I sure did.
and then you said yourself, you took it upon yourself and said, I don't think this is the career path for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was a couple classes from graduating. I knew it was important to get my degree. I just, sometimes you just lose the passion for the playing part, and just thought it was time to try something different.
Okay, but it just seems kind of quick for after a year. Now, okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a break because I want to go on the other side talk about becoming a coach, because it sounds like you really did have that father figure, that coach. And so maybe that was in the back of your head, like I could be more suited, or I could better use my skills on this side of it. And maybe that might be true.
For sure.
Maybe it's not. Who knows? We're going to find out on the other side of this break, though, all right?
Awesome.
All right, we're going to do that after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The Yuma Orchestra Association's Romantic Classics Concert, featuring the Yuma Civic Orchestra and string ambassadors, will take place on Saturday, February 7th at 2 o'clock and 6:30 at Snyder Auditorium. The concerts will feature an assortment of romantically themed and familiar works, and tickets are available at yumaorchestra.com and at the events.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio. We expect a sunny, breezy day in Yuma with an afternoon high of 76 degrees. Winds out of the north at 5 to 15 miles per hour, could gust up to 25 tonight. Clear skies with a low around 50. Arizona Congressional District 7 Representative Adelita Grijalva made a visit to Somerton on Wednesday, where she held constituent office hours at Somerton City Hall. Members of Grijalva's staff plan to be on site every fourth Wednesday of the month. More on this at kwc.org.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Bonus Smiles is the music show where we share the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Join us on your local public radio station, KOFA at 94.7 FM. In our next episode, we hear from DeAndre Rogers and Devontae Gaskill and the tunes that power their runs.
Saturday morning starting at 5 here on Border Radio, KOFA.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with Jon Wente. He is the head coach of men's baseball here at AWC. And Veronica reminded me that I never asked him what position he played. And I told Veronica, you just got to go in. Like, I'll just
be rude.
No, don't be rude. No, that's not the way this show works. You just have to. I'll just keep asking questions. And but yeah, what position did you play?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up as a shortstop, but then when I got to end of my high school career and college and professional career, I was a pitcher. I think I threw a lot of strikes. And
we just learned that is the most important position on a team.
Yeah.
So
if you got a good pitcher,
yeah. I mean, the pitcher only pitches once a week.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so it's kind of, I would say catcher, shortstop, or center field are the most important. But yeah, I mean, I tell our guys they're the pitcher is the rock star of a band, and everyone goes to see. When I went to watch Aerosmith in concert, I know they
Steven Tyler.
they have a great guitarist, they have a great drummer, but we're going to see Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Wail.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely. So yeah, a pitcher, but you said you're pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. So, you're always better the longer you get away from it. So,
Gotcha. You're really good. Yeah, you can say whatever you want on here. Nobody's going to fact check you. You could have been the best pitcher ever.
And we also just learned that there's a difference between softball and baseball. So you could fool us.
And I can't talk bad about softball because my wife's a softball coach. And
is she here at
No,
softball?
she's at Grand Canyon University. But I'm very close with our softball coach here. We coached at Odessa at the same time. He was softball coach, I was baseball coach. So I have a lot of respect for softball and what those girls do. It's awesome.
So we got to the point of the story that you said, this isn't my path. And I was just wondering, hearing about the earlier talk with pretty much your mentor, not just your coach, seemed like a mentor, father figure. Was that right away in your mind? Like, I could definitely be useful as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think the funny part, especially now being here at Arizona Western, is my teammate at Central Arizona was the person I took over for this year. Andrew Keene was the head baseball coach here at AWC for the last 8 or 9 years, and we were teammates together, and he was actually my assistant coach. But he was a year older than me in college, and he kind of helped formulate how you're supposed to be a college baseball player, the work ethic you're supposed to have. And so he kind of mentored me. And then he was always, he's one of the persons that I would say, definitely gave me the idea that, hey, maybe my future is in coaching, just because he thought I understood the game pretty well. And so I give him a lot of credit. We've had a lot of great years together, and I owe him a lot. And then I think, I had a chance to work with a legendary coach named Clint Myers. He's won a bunch of national championships in softball. He's won some baseball national championships. He was at Arizona State as a softball coach, Auburn. And he really taught me how to run a program, how to manage people throughout your program, whether it's the best player on the team to the 30th player on your team to the trainer to the support staff and all that.
Okay,
cool.
So then what was it like? So you just kind of put out applications? Did you look to see who's hiring?
Well, I started at the junior college I played at. I think that,
okay.
So after my career was over, Coach Myers was the baseball coach, and he said, hey, if you want to start coaching, come on down here. And I was finishing my degree and said, let's do it. So,
and you said you knew the game. The word I hear a lot is like the high IQ when it comes to this. So like you understood the techniques that needed to be, like, explain a little bit about that.
I think it's more, technique is important, but at the end of the day, you still have to get the most. You got to get them to play at the best version of themselves. So technique is a small piece of it. It's still about,
gotcha.
Hey, how to manage people. It's still about how to treat people. It's how to push the right buttons, whether you need to kick them in the butt a little bit or you need to pat them on the back a little bit. So I think that's where my specialty is. I think most coaches have some X's and O's, some technique that, we all kind of understand to be good at this game. But it's really the management of people and how to bring out the best of themselves.
I think one of the things that people forget from collegiate sports to professional sports is that they're actual students going to school full time. So they're focused on academics.
I would
and
forget
that is huge.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I mean, I think, when you're recruiting a player, you want to see that they're academically, doesn't have to be a 4.0 student, but you want to know that they're going to class, they're turning in their work, because that shows up on the baseball field. When you need to get a bunt down in the 9th inning or you need to make a play, the person that has shown up in the classroom, all that kind of stuff, I think it shows out on the baseball field.
Discipline.
Yeah, for sure. Discipline.
So then, but you off air, you told us you traveled a little bit as a coach.
Yep.
It took you to different cities and states, right?
Yep.
And then how'd you end up here at AWC?
Yeah. So I was the head coach at Central Arizona for 9 years. I think we built one of the best programs in junior college baseball, and just thought it was time. I had a son that was going to be in high school, and we just thought it was time to kind of try something different and get him in a great school district for himself. Sometimes we make a lot of decisions in life based on our career, but we thought as a family it was best to make a decision for our son. So we moved to Texas. We were fortunate to come back to Arizona at Grand Canyon, and I was the pitching coach at Grand Canyon for a few years. And then my boss got a big-time job, and I was kind of left out of a job and went to Sacramento State. But my wife has continued to coach at Grand Canyon. And so living away from my wife was really tough. And this opportunity showed up. And I think the great thing about this opportunity was, number one, Jerry Smith, our athletic director, was the athletic director here when I was the coach at Central Arizona. So we had some history. We knew each other. I knew how much he cared about the student athletes, about his coaches, and about having successful programs. And then, like I said, the softball coach here, I had history with, and it just made it an easier decision to get closer to my wife. And it's been great because, I can go home if we have a weekend off, or my wife can drive out here and spend the weekend here as well.
So you get here. Do you know much about the history of AWC and its program?
Sure. For sure, yeah. I mean, competed as a player against AWC, competed as a coach against AWC. I know Coach Stratton well. I respect the heck out of Coach Stratton, who was the coach before Coach Keene, and he's a Hall of Famer, and he's an ACCAC Hall of Famer, which is our Arizona Collegiate League. He's a Hall of Famer, and I've got a lot of respect, and it's great. I get to see him a couple times a week at Matador events that we have, and it was exciting to see him at the game Tuesday, just there to support us and watch.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to read, which I don't like to do on air, but I got a question from our very own Victor Calderon, who's over in the next room over here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a reporter here at KAWC. But he asked, do you know much about the history of sending players to D1 schools and even the MLB? He mentioned somebody like Sergio Romo, who won the World Series with the San Francisco Giants.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Sergio Romo played here at Arizona Western. I actually coached against him.
You coached against him?
Yeah. I was an assistant coach. He played for Coach Stratton, and then obviously he made it to the big leagues with the Giants, and he's won a couple World Championships with the Giants, and he's probably a borderline Hall of Famer just because he had a great career. There's a few. We just had a current, like a recent player, Jaden Murray, pitched for the Houston Astros this past year, that played here a few years ago. I've been fortunate to coach like 25 major leaguers.
Wow, that's incredible.
Over my time. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think, it's cool to say, hey, we may have had a little bit of influence on those type of people and shape the way their careers happen. But ultimately, it's the player that has to do it. And
it's, for us here in Yuma, it is always cool, kind of like, you're hearing like, oh, yeah, that guy went to AWC right there, watching the game or something. And it kind of brings some pride to the hometown, right?
For sure. Yeah, I was watching Michigan basketball over the Thanksgiving break, and because they play a lot of basketball tournaments on TV, and the guy from Michigan played here at AWC, and he's one of the best players in the NCAA Division I basketball, and Michigan has a chance to win a national championship, and he played in this gym for a couple years, and it's cool to see those type of things.
Mm-hmm. So the season just started, right?
Yep.
When did it start? What day?
Tuesday. We played a doubleheader against South Mountain. We lost game 1, unfortunately, and we won game 2. And, South played 4 games over the weekend. It was our first game. We were a little tentative. The speed of the game is tough to emulate in practice. We made some mistakes, but truly proud of the way we fought back in game 2. And it was kind of one of those back and forth games where we got up big, they came back, we got up, they came back, and fortunate for us.
It was a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Those are
the good ones.
Entertaining for us, but you guys, it's
stressful
like
for you.
stressful and nerve-wracking.
For sure.
Yeah. And so the team this year, asked all the coaches about recruiting. So you got here, were they already all the team put together?
For sure. I'm very fortunate that we kept Coach Mitchum from staff last year. He was the recruiting coordinator, so he pretty much recruited the roster. We had a full roster when I got here, and then it just became them learning me learning them, and trying to, build the best team culture that we could possibly build.
And learning, so one of the things I found out is that you recruit from all over the world. So there could be a little bit of a learning curve just because of language barriers. Do you have that right now? Where do you have some of your players? Can you name some countries? And
you name a country, we probably have it. So
wow.
we definitely we have United States. We have some local kids, which I think is important for our program moving forward. We have them from Mexico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, France, Italy, Spain, Austria, Netherlands, Canada. We had an Australian, but so we pretty much have them from all over the place. And the language barrier is, I think baseball's a universal language. But, you do notice that when it's something important that you're trying to tell those young men, that they'll put it in their phone. I think the technology on our phones
technology
is so
definitely
good.
helps, yeah.
So I would type, in English what I mean about, hey, go to class, and hey, do this or do that, and it types it in their language, and they can understand it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But we do also have a young man from Austria that speaks 3 languages fluently, and he helps me with the Japanese. We do have a couple players from Japan, and he helps me, he helps us talk to him, so that helps.
So my limited understanding of baseball, Japan seems to be they love baseball or something. I see a lot of Japanese players.
For sure. I mean, I think they kind of have the same as the United States kids. Is they grow up and they play and they have passion for the game. And I think just in the last few years with some of the people we get a chance to watch on TV in the major leagues that are from Japan, like Shohei Ohtani, with the Los Angeles Dodgers being the best player in the world, I think that opens up doors for them to say, hey, I want to come and get an education.
Gotcha. Like I could be like him.
Yes,
they could kind of see it in flesh and blood with somebody else. It's like, oh, I can aspire to be like that now because I've seen it.
For sure.
Gotcha. So how do people find out more about the baseball team and all the games?
Yeah, for sure. I think, number one, our website, we've got a great sports information director in Scott Gross, and he does a great job with all the sports. He does an article before the game to kind of do the pregame, and then he does a write-up after all the games. So I think going to our website is the best way. We do have posters all around campus for people to kind of see when the games are. But and we do film. We have video out at every game. So if you can't make it, you can go to our website and click the link, and it'll give you a live feed for the game.
Mm-hmm. And so the season. How long is the baseball season here?
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts, end of January, and hopefully it goes to, Memorial Weekend. That would be the World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. But, I think our sport is unique because we start the first week of school in August with practice, and we get the chance to play some fall games. So it's not a full year sport, but some of the sports get some time off. We don't really get that because we start right away.
Oh, wow.
Now, it doesn't count in the fall, but we practice throughout the whole fall.
But you're there, you're doing stuff.
Yep.
And because you said you got here in August?
Yeah, August, the first day of school. I was.
For first day, you're here.
I was here.
How you feeling about the team this year?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, our goal is with any team is you want to play the best, your best when it matters the most, and that's at the end of the year. So we'll probably go through a little bit of growing pains. We've got a lot of freshmen. We don't have a whole lot of sophomore returners. So, we got to get those guys acclimated to college baseball. And so I like the team. It's a talented team. We've got power with the bat. We have speed on the base pass. We can play defense. Our pitchers throw strikes. So a lot of the elements of being a great team are in place. Now we just need to, reach our potential and coach them as hard as we can, and hope that they, buy in and play for the name on the front more than the name on the back.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Wish you the best of luck within this season, and I'm pretty sure I'll get Scott and convince him to get you back on here and give us an update and see how you guys are doing.
Anytime. I appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
With that. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back with who?
Amber Thornton.
All right. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, crafted in Welton, inspired by the desert, offering scratch-made food, handcrafted beers, live music, and experiences like farm tours and glamping. Location information, the schedule of events, and details on the range of options to be enjoyed are at hightanks.com.
I'm Maria Hinojosa. This week on Latino USA, Colombian actresses Catalina Sandino Moreno, Sasha Calle, and Lina Esco star in the new crime thriller from Netflix, The Rip, alongside some of Hollywood's biggest names.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, Joe Carnahan, it's such a great group of people.
That's this week on Latino USA.
Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
St. Paul's Concert Series will present trumpeter Stephen Hennig and Friends in concert at 5 on Sunday, February 8th at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. Original Hennig compositions will be performed along with familiar classical and contemporary works. Featured friends will include Benjamin Hopkins, Brandon Coase, and John Knutson. More at stpaulsyuma.org.
For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel. Minimally in the area. We'll be here 3 times a month.
Arizona District 7 Representative Adelita Grijalva made a surprise visit to Somerton Wednesday. She held constituent office hours at Somerton City Hall, which will now serve as the new location for office hours. Her team plans to be there every 4th Wednesday of the month. Grijalva says a delay in her swearing in disrupted her ability to get started, but now her office is focused on having a consistent presence in Yuma County.
Because right now there are so many people that need help, and sometimes you don't know where to go. Even if it's not something that's a federal issue, I think that we have the experience in our staff.
Grijalva is also working to establish office hours in the city of San Luis and Yuma, along with virtual office hours. Services include help with federal agencies such as Social Security, Medicare, Immigration, and Veteran Services. For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel.
Hey, it's Ana Maria Sayer from NPR Music. Have you ever dreamed of playing behind the iconic Tiny Desk? Now's your opportunity to join the ranks of artists ranging from Robert Plant to Doechii and Catriel y Paco Amoroso to Chaperone. Unsigned musicians can enter NPR's Tiny Desk contest between now and February 9th. Learn more and see the official rules at npr.org/tinydeskcontest.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
Why is music an important part of your life? For many of us, music lets us see the world from someone else's perspective. We can find community in hearing someone else's joy, sorrow, or hope expressed in song or melody. KOFA Border Radio is your local, non-commercial source for great music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Amber Thornton. Did I get that right?
You did.
Okay, cool. I did. So I should get a sticker every time I get things right, Veronica. We need to set that system
names,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I get it right, Johnny gets a sticker. But you're from Culligan Water of Yuma.
Correct.
That's a business.
And she's one of my best friends.
One of your best friends?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We met in the community, and then we just became fashionistas.
Yes, we're fashionistas.
Okay, that's it. I did not know that. We need to have a whole segment dedicated to these two fashionistas. And but you're also a Relay for Life. You head that organization
Yeah,
here?
I'm the event lead.
You're the event lead. Okay.
Yep.
Those are two things we're going to get into in a bit. But first, we're going to find out how you became this fashionista and your connection. So, Culligan, that's a big brand?
So Culligan is an international brand, and we are a locally owned family franchise.
Gotcha. Okay. And locally owned. So originally from Yuma or?
No, actually, my parents brought us here from Napa Valley.
Napa Valley. Where's that at?
Napa, California.
Yeah,
like
okay.
The wine country.
Okay, that's right. I just want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't get a sticker for that one because I don't know. But so okay, the wine country. You're from there. It must be beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was quite the culture shock.
That's what I'm going to get to. That was my next thing. Like, what was that like going from that to the desert?
So my parents moved us here. We first toured Yuma County.
How old were you?
I was 15. I was.
Okay.
It was
that's the worst time to move.
Yeah, I was ending my freshman. I was ending my freshman year.
You're kind of just getting settled in your freshman year, learning the social cues and all that good stuff. And your parents said, "We're going to the desert."
Yeah, my parents came home from a Culligan convention, a national convention, and said, "Hey, we're going to go check out this place called Yuma, Arizona." It was Memorial Weekend, and everyone knows what Memorial Weekend looks like in Yuma County. Yeah. So we come from Napa, that's like normally like 80s, 90s, and we walk in or drive in, and one of the first things I remember was like the bank, and I think it's where where one of the banks is on 4th Avenue, and it was like 110.
Oh, like on the thing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I never seen that temperature before. So we pretty much lived in the hotel pool, my brothers and I. That first weekend, my parents toured. They said, well, might be something down the line. And then everything happened really quickly. But they took ownership September 1st.
Oh, gotcha. Wow.
So from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
From Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Moved
and it's
to town, bought a business, enrolled at high school because high school had already started by the time we got here. So that I was not only the new kid, but the late new kid.
The late new kid. Like, you walk in, class is already going. Like, everybody say hi to Amber.
Yeah. As a sophomore.
As a sophomore,
At Cibola High School. Yep.
At Cibola High School.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So getting to Yuma, it's hot. It's like, you're the new kid. You're late. Did you kind of get acclimated quickly, or was it, over the course of years? And
It took a little bit. Yeah. I was involved with choir at Cibola, so I was in the choir, and then my junior year, I was the performing choir, so they were the Sensations.
Oh, okay.
We remember back then with our fancy gold shiny vests. And then my senior year, I actually went into student government. So I was the senior class secretary.
So you kind of moved up pretty quickly then. That seems like it, right? Like
leadership is kind of my thing.
Yeah, I was going to say leader since high school.
Yeah. So that sounds like a perfect trajectory. So your parents are here. Did you want to follow in their footsteps?
Actually, that was not the plan. I went to school for early childhood education.
Okay.
You were a teacher, right?
I was a preschool teacher.
So you were a teacher. So you went to school where'd you go to school?
So I went to a private Christian university called Hope International in Fullerton, California, and then transferred to the Fullerton College there.
Okay. And so you did that. You wanted to work with kids. That was you're like, was that always like a thing for you? Like, I want to work with kids.
My mom found a paper that I had written in like kindergarten that said, I want to be a teacher when I grow up.
Wow.
So it's in my little baby book that my mom has made me.
Oh, geez. Mine were ridiculous, like president and astronaut. But,
you still
yours
can be that, John.
I'm going to do it. I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to astronaut school. So you're doing that. Kids, you're working with them here in Yuma? Like you're
No,
a
in
teacher?
California.
So you graduated high school and said what every human says, I'm never coming back.
Exactly.
Yep.
100%. I said, I'm leaving Yuma. I'm going back to California.
Going back to Cali. Oh, okay.
I went to college in California, met my first husband in California.
I like Fullerton a lot.
Yeah. Had my oldest in California. He was born at Placentia Linda Hospital, so in Orange County.
Okay. So you're over there teaching then. Okay, you graduate, you're over there. You're like, Yuma's in the rearview mirror. You're gone. The weather's nice, right? And you're enjoying it. But what goes on? What happens?
Cancer.
Cancer.
No, it was, I lost 3 grandparents in 13 months to cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
So my dad's 2 parents and my mother's mother.
Okay.
So it was, my parents needed help too.
Okay, so that's what it was. They called you up and then said, you remember how hot it is here?
Conversations.
And how did you convince your husband?
So it's not my current husband now.
Oh, it's not your current husband.
No,
right.
that's,
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. We don't need to go into that drama.
Veronica wants to cheese me right now. No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So you're over there. They call you and say, like, we need help, or you recognize they need help?
It was a little bit of both.
It
was a little bit of both. And so I had just had my first son. He was born on my birthday in 2002.
Share a birthday.
Yeah, I share a birthday with my oldest.
Yeah.
And by the time he was 6 months old, we had transitioned here. I needed help with him because when you're in California working in childcare, I was paying the childcare to have my child in the school that I was teaching at.
Oh, geez. So they don't even give you a like you could bring them here, like type of thing?
Not a discount.
No. So you just mentioned it. My mom worked out here at AWC when I was young, and I went to the development center that's still here. So that would
have been perfect.
Yeah. So geez, California, they didn't give you a break. So you okay, a little bit of both. It sounds like you needed help with your firstborn, and they needed help. So you kind of like made a pact and like, I'm going to go back and sweat.
Yeah. So I I slowly started working into the business. I started working, half days. My mother would work in the morning, and then I would come and she would take my son, and I would work in the afternoons. Then for a while after my second child was born, I did actually work in a preschool so that the kids could go to preschool. I worked like the 6 a.m. morning shift and then still came to the office like at lunchtime. So I was working both jobs, doing my childcare, with what I had my degree in, and then coming to the business. And then there became a point where it's like, we really need you to come on full time. And so that's when I really dove into learning the business. And my mom would say that Culligan rebranded in 2017. And that was really when I was like, okay, no, I'm going to do that. I was seeing the difference in our community, all of the work that my parents had did coming into the community in 1994. Those people were starting to retire. Those connections were getting lost. And so I stepped into the community and I started being active in the chamber and taking on different, volunteer positions and really putting Culligan back out there in the community, making us known.
You started reconnecting all the connections.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, what does Culligan Water actually do?
So Culligan Water is water treatment. So we do installed systems, water softeners, reverse osmosis, well water treatment for residents, businesses, and even some industrial.
And so it sounds like maybe your parents recognize like, okay, they need help over here. Like there's Yuma, come over here because we have what's called hard water, right?
Yep.
Okay. So in that, the water softeners, obviously, it sounds like they reverse that process, right?
Yeah, the water softeners remove the hardness, which is calcium carbonate.
Okay.
Industry says 10 grains is considered hard water. That's what the industry standards say.
Okay, 10.
Our water tests usually about 23, 25 grains per gallon.
Wow, so we're over double.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, when you see the maps, like we're bright red when it's talking about hardness.
Okay. I just want to ask you, like, because I don't think
water snob.
I am
a water snob.
I don't know, I guess, what it's like to maybe take a shower not hard water. Is there a big difference?
So the first thing you're going to notice
Veronica
is,
just said, "Oh my!" She went to her sultry voice. Oh my God, yes.
So the first thing is that your soaps are going to work better. So when you have hard water, your soaps are working against that mineral in the water, so you're not going to get a lather. You're not going to get as clean.
That's what happened this morning,
Johnny. No
my
wonder.
goodness, that's why I have to use so much soap.
Yeah, that's why you have to use so much soap. And then your clothes aren't getting clean.
Literally today, and I'm like, why do I always got to use so much soap? Okay, here
hard
it is.
water.
In my hands, hard water. Jesus.
You need to call
hard water.
Okay.
You need to call her and set
I know.
up the system.
Just call and say, "Hey, call again."
Yeah. Maybe I get a discount. No. Okay, but so the hard water that. So you said you use less amount of soap, and what else?
Less soap. You don't get the buildup. So that white hard crustation that forms on everything and clogs up your faucets and breaks your hot water heater. All of those things. That's what we're removing from the water.
Yeah.
So your appliances are going to last longer. Your plumbing is going to be better. Toilets, faucets, hot water heater is going to last longer for all of those things.
And so that's when I see people buying those big things of salt, right? Is that part of the softener thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So those bags of salt go into the water softener. Softeners use the salt as a regenerant. So when the system regenerates, it flushes it with the brine solution to release the hardness and flush it down the drain. And then it exchanges that hardness molecule for the sodium molecule in the water when it's back online.
Gotcha. Wow. I need somebody over there right now. Science. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back on the other side of it and talk a little bit about Relay for Life as well. And it sounds like it's obviously something very close to you, right? It's a big decision, brought you back here to Yuma. So we're going to talk about that and a little bit more nerdy stuff about water, okay? Because I'm very interested. And we're going to do that after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Bonus Smiles is the music show where we share the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Join us on your local public radio station, KOFA at 94.7 FM. In our next episode, we hear from DeAndre Rogers and Devontae Gaskill and the tunes that power their runs.
Saturday morning starting at 5 here on Border Radio, KOFA.
Expect a sunny, breezy day in Flagstaff with an afternoon high of 49. East winds at 7 to 13 miles per hour could gust up to 20. Clear skies tonight with a low around 24. In Prescott, sunny with a high near 60 degrees. Light and variable winds becoming 5 to 9 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with a low of 28 in Kingman. The high is 62 degrees with some gusting winds up to 23 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. Clear tonight with a low of 39 in Yuma County. The high is 76 and the low is 50.
KAWC and Border Radio are sponsors of the Village Jazz Series, with concerts starting at 6 every Thursday evening at Yuma Palms Regional Center through April 30th. This week, the captivating stylings of vocalist Mia Delgado will be featured with Yuma Jazz Company. Guests should bring their own seating. Details under Village Jazz at yumajazz.com.
If you're tired of listening to long commercials before finally hearing music, look no further. We've got you covered. Whether you're searching on your radio, trying to find an app to play some tunes, or need background music playing on your computer while finishing up some work, KOFA Border Radio is your non-commercial place for music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We're here speaking with Amber Thornton, and we're talking about water, getting nerdy, a little bit of science stuff, and figuring out why I got to use so much dang soap every day. And I think
because you don't have a water softener.
Yeah, I don't have one. You know, I never had one, so I don't even know what it's like. I know my cousin has one, so I'm gonna maybe take a shower. Nathan, I'm coming over after this to take a shower there to test this out to see if it really works. But so you're in there. You take over. You said about 2017, the rebranding.
Mm-hmm.
You're in there. You're full time, and you're making the connections because it's brought up a chamber and stuff like that. And I think both of you were at a chamber event last night,
Yep.
right?
We were at the chamber mixer. Yeah, at the new Elemental Life.
And that's probably where we met, at one of the chamber events.
Yeah, probably a chamber mixer or a breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find that, obviously community, getting out there, being part of it definitely helps your business, right?
Yeah.
Makes those connections. You become fashionistas with with Veronica. That's always great. But also, where did the Relay for Life, how'd that come into play? Obviously, it's close to you, like I said, but did you kind of hear about the organization? Kind of give me a little bit of background.
So everyone remembers John Curtis.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was the head of the chamber.
Hi, John. He's always
What
listening.
up, John?
He is always listening. He is. And he was actually the event lead for Relay for Life back then. And it was 2019. My daughter, Ellie Evans, was interested in participating in the Miss America opportunity and needed a platform. And she had participated with Relay for Life with her student council groups through the years because she had a friend pass when she was in grade school. And so she said, Mom, you know John, can you introduce me? So that's what I did. We took her to meet John, and he said, come on board, and he helped get her involved. And like every parent knows, when your child is doing something and they can't drive, you are there as well.
Now it's your problem.
And so it's almost getting like voluntold because your child is doing it. But I found that I really did have a passion for it because, like you said, cancer has touched my family, not just my two parents, my three grandparents, but my brother as well. He was diagnosed with cancer when he was 30 years old. So he is a 14-year survivor from his clean diagnosis.
So what is Relay for Life?
So Relay for Life is an annual cancer walk. We are a fundraising arm of the American Cancer Society. So all of our funds do go to the American Cancer Society to support cancer research, advocacy, and patient support. And then our event used to be an overnight event. You would walk all night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. We've transitioned to that, so we walk all day. We walk from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Was it like the pandemic kind of?
The pandemic really kind of changed that. Yeah, it kind of altered a lot of different Relay for Life. So we actually still go 12 hours. A lot of different communities have shortened the event, and they only do a couple hours. But our community really likes that 12-hour part of it.
They do.
Yeah.
Why? Because they get to go out and like visit with their friends, or the community thing, you could talk and stuff like that.
Yeah, it feels like a whole community.
They're coming together for
atmosphere.
a good cause, you know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be up there the whole 12 hours to walk, right? You can just walk for.
So it's a relay. So you have a team, and your team all takes turns.
Oh, okay.
Being out
So it
there
is a
on the
real
track.
relay. Oh,
so you're not
gotcha.
like actually like handing off a baton like a
Okay.
race relay, but you're
Okay.
just walking the track, and we have fun laps like an inflatable lap where we go around in inflatable costumes for one of the laps. We have a bubble lap because we're blowing cancer away, so everyone's blowing bubbles around the lap. Silly hat laps. So we have a lot of fun out there. We have a lot of serious times too because we're there to celebrate, remember, and then fight back against cancer. So we always start our walk with honoring our survivors. We start with a survivor lap. So after our opening ceremony, the first lap around the track is always our survivors. Our survivors take that lap, and we cheer them all on, overcoming what they go through as survivors. And then the second lap, we invite their caregiver out with them to honor their caregivers, because you don't walk this journey alone. And then after that, everyone joins the track. So that third lap is everyone on the track for a lap.
It's actually so emotional.
It really is.
Like some people who are just finished their cancer journey, they start like it's tear fest, and it's very emotional.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely. So my kid's aunt, they go every year for her and walk with her and do that every year. And it means a lot to them. And she, I think, has been cancer-free for maybe like a year now or something. But it seems, it's very important to them to do that. And they always cheer her on and stuff like that. And it's a big deal. I've never gone with one myself. Like I said, I don't know. Yeah, it was that much fun. You could walk around in a bubble suit and stuff like that. And
Johnny, we're going this year.
I guess we got to go. I have so many things to do this year now, but we're going to do it.
Come out. I'm just signing him up for everything.
I know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for some guest MCs.
Let's do it.
Take
Take
a lot.
Take
one of the slots.
You let me talk. That's a whole different thing. That's what I do. You said Mike. What? We're doing it. That's the only time I can bring it up. I got to work for Stand Up for Cancer, the big telethon.
Oh, cool.
It was really, really cool. And I remember I'm watching it, and I'm on TV, and it's broadcast on like 4 different stations. And that was part of the biggest broadcast on Stand Up to Cancer. And here's the thing, right? Nobody knows it was me. Nobody knows it was me because I'm.
You didn't have your hat on?
No, because actually I'm supposed to be playing a woman that's driving into Yuma. It was just filming. They're getting B-roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, this actress is going to be coming in, so you're driving into Yuma." So here I am on the car, and like all these famous people are in the audience, and I'm like, "That's me. That's me driving that." But yeah, nobody knew, and it was for good reason. I had to put a wig on and play like I was a woman. But anyway, I saw that. The reason why they were here is because somebody here, there was a local teacher, I believe she was at Alice Byrne, that had cancer. So they saw her story and they wanted to come down and film and talk about her
that's
story.
really cool.
It was really cool. And it was cool to be around her. We filmed for about 3 days and kind of learn her story and how much she meant to the community.
Well, talk about national recognition. Can we talk about that great award you just got?
So,
yeah.
So yes, Relay for
Besides
Life.
the Heart of Yuma.
Yeah, I know. Heart of Yuma. We were the fundraising initiative of the year for 2025.
Greatness first.
Yes, she definitely did. But then, piggybacking off of that, we were asked to submit a nomination. So we'll submit information for a nomination for our event to be considered an event of the year. And so we, sent in photos, sent in information, and then we were notified that we were a nominee in December and invited to an online Zoom award ceremony. And they get through all of the other awards. The last one is Relay for Life, the event of the year for the West Coast region.
Okay.
And so they're going through all these different nominees. There's like 7 to 9 different nominees, all the different events. And then I'm like, there's no way we're winning. These are huge. I know what these events are doing. They're huge. And then they announce us. Our picture comes up, our inflatable lap with the arch from the track.
Awesome.
And it was Yuma County. So Yuma County was recognized as the West Coast Region of the Year's Event of the Year for 2025.
Cool. You guys fundraised over $200,000?
Yep, $204,000. $204,850 something.
Every penny counts.
Yeah, every penny counts.
Yeah, so that must have felt great.
Yeah, it was amazing. So it was all thanks to our fantastic sponsors. We had an amazing presenting sponsor with Taylor Logistics Company, which is part of the Taylor family, the Taylor Farms family of businesses.
Okay.
So they are a fantastic resource for us. And then all of our other ones with like Onvita Health and Regional Center for Border Health and Sunset Health, all the different health partners that come alongside of us. We really appreciate all of them, all of our teams, and all of the individuals that come out and walk. And then just that we could honor our survivors and say that. So next month in February, we find out the winner of the national. So we're in the running for that. So.
And then when is the next one?
So our Relay for Life is March 21st, 2026 at the Pacific Avenue Athletic Complex.
Okay. And how do people find out more about that?
So relayforlife.org/Yuma County AZ. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Anything new on this next one that you're going to try to implement? Any surprises or?
So we are really excited every year. We tried to have something new. We had to have something exciting. So just come out and see what we're going to do.
Oh, you're going to leave us in suspense.
Yes.
All right. I get it. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us, and call her if you don't want to waste soap. All right, guys. And Culligan Water, real quick, plug it.
Culligan Water of Yuma, 783-7032.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much. With that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. Want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornales, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we are going to have a Dr. Destiny Johnson. She's going to be with us, so make sure you tune in for that.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the little lesson in science as well. And
we'll see you at Relay for Life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You going to let me talk?
I'll let you talk.
You heard it, guys. It's on camera. It's in. All right. You guys have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
You are tuned into KOFA Yuma Border Radio 94.7 FM and 1320 AM. We can also be heard with the KOFA app and at kawc.org. We have been a service of Arizona Western College since 1970.
Yuma Community Theater is presenting 12 Angry Jurors, a movie adaptation depicting the contentious positions of jurors in a murder trial, discerning facts from their own preconceived notions. Performances are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through February 1st at Desert Grace Community Church. Details and tickets are at yctaz.org.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. President Trump's border